Hello, I'm Alan Ackles representing M&E. We are excited to present the new premium product being offered in American Airlines 767 business class cabins. Over the past 5 years, American Airlines has analyzed, studied, and surveyed the new business class environments to determine what our valued customers have come to expect. To meet these expectations and to surpass our competitors' offerings, we have chosen to install versatile, lie-flat business class seats for our 767s. These seats, manufactured by Recaro Aircraft Seating, offer several amenities, including electrical recline and leg rests with infinite seat positions, a lie-flat bed position, multiple tray tables, personal video entertainment, and several personal storage areas. This is all cleanly packaged into the business class cabin, providing the maximum space available to our customers while maximizing the number of seats we can fit within the 767. These seats were developed with input from our tech crew chiefs, cabin flight crews, and engineering. Although safety, comfort, and convenience for our customers were very essential design criteria, great attention was also given to providing a seat that is easy to maintain for our mechanics and pleasant to work with for our cabin crews. The following presentation will show you the features and functions of the seat, followed by general installation, maintenance, and repair procedures. This seat is rich with features and functions, and American Airlines is confident that we have the capable, highly skilled technical personnel to keep these seats flying reliably for years to come. The main seat position functions are controlled through the touchpad control panels at the front of the center console. The position buttons on the control panel allow infinite settings for the seat occupant. There are also preset buttons for the upright taxi takeoff and landing position, a lounge position 1, a relaxed lounge position 2, and the bed position. The bed position provides a flat surface at an approximately 9-degree angle in flight. A unique feature exclusively on the American Airlines seat is the ability to track forward or backward. Pressing the forward or back arrows moves the entire seat to allow added privacy from the adjacent passenger or to position the seat closer to the forward work table. Another nice feature is the memory button. When a customer finds a comfortable position he likes, he can save this setting by pressing the M button twice. To bring the seat back to this safe position, simply press and hold the M button until the seat returns to this position. For safety requirements, the motors will only operate while the position buttons are pressed and held. Uncontrolled motion is not allowed. Another safety feature is an obstruction sensor for all motors. For example, if the leg rest presses into an object, the motor will stall and back off about an inch. They will generally reset themselves after 5 seconds. The actuation system software can also be reset by pressing the M button and the footrest down arrow button simultaneously for approximately 5 seconds. Now, if motors fail, there are also manual overrides that can be used to reposition the seats. For the seat back recline and seat translation, the manual override levers are located at the top of the center console. Simply pull off the top access panel. The manual override levers are labeled with the function they control. The override for the footrest extension is located under the footrest. The overrides for the seat bottom height and leg rest deployment are located on each side of each seat under the bottom cushion and are also labeled with their respective function. Several mechanical functions are available to increase passenger comfort and convenience. This includes 6-way adjustable headrests, drop-down armrests, fold-up privacy screens, multiple tray tables which dock together, and fold-out footrest pads. There are several personal storage spaces for each passenger. The seat back shell insert has slots to house the personal entertainment video device and pockets to store small items like the video power cord, glasses, or pens. The PC power port outlet and task light are also located on this convenient media center. At the bottom of the seat back shell, there are 2 storage pockets, one for miscellaneous amenity items and one specifically for magazines. The life vests for both passengers are stored in a pocket at the top of the seat back center console, and the safety briefing card and seat feature card are located in a special slot on the center console. We encourage you to get to know the many functions of these seats. The more you understand its full capabilities, the more likely our passengers are able to fully enjoy the numerous features these seats have to offer. As we mentioned, the new business class seat was designed with ease of maintenance in mind. Now, the keys to this are the abundance of strategic access panels and the basic modularity of each unit. Each double-seat unit is comprised of a base frame, 2 seat kinematics, basically the chairs themselves with all of the motors, a center console unit, and 2 seat back shelves. These individual modules easily disassemble and attach to make installation and removal more manageable. To transport the seat units into and out of the aircraft doors, it's essential to disassemble them into the individual modules, as each module is much lighter than the full-up assembly. Okay, let's look at the specifics in accessing the seats. It's helpful to remove the rear maintenance panel in the footwell to gain better access to the attach points and wire connectors. To remove the back shell units, remove the plastic cap on the top of the center console to expose 4 attach bolts. Remove these bolts. Slide out the pins at the lower front attach point and lower rear attach point. Now, simply lift the shell off the base frame. When removing the aisle side shells, you must disconnect the over-center indicator. This can be found at the inside wall of the shell. For the outboard aisle side shells, which have E-path lighting outlets, it will be necessary to disconnect the E-path wiring connection located in the inside wall of the shell. Next, and for safety purposes, disconnect the pull-back gas lock from the actuator attach point. This simple procedure will keep the kinematic from snapping back into your work area. At this stage, it's helpful to move the seat kinematic to its most forward position using the manual release. To remove the center console, first, disconnect the seat control electrical plug and the manual override cables that are located on top of the base frame, next to the center console. Near this connection location, there are 2 pins attaching the console to the base frame. Pull these pins and slide the entire center console aft slightly to disengage a single base frame pin near the back. The center console can now be easily lifted off the base frame. The base frame with the 2 seat kinematics attached can be transported onto the aircraft pretty easily. This is also a convenient stage to install the unit onto the airplane seat tracks. As always, when setting the base frame onto the tracks, be cautious of any wire harnesses or connectors that may be protruding from the floor. The track fittings set into the tracks just like standard seats. However, the front anti-rattle is locked to the track by simply turning a quarter-turn cam. This requires a 5/16 hex head tool. To reattach the center console and shell units, reverse the process. It's helpful to attach the center console to the base frame first. The attach pins and wiring connectors are readily accessible and provide the upper attachments for the shell units. Be sure that the rear footwell maintenance panels are reattached, as this provides stability to the whole unit. The sliding cover panels behind the seat back must be oriented as shown here to prevent them from binding during movement. Another very important feature is the center console maintenance access panels. These panels are on both sides of the rear center console and are easily removed by quarter-turn fasteners. Removing this access panel exposes the seat electrical control box, commonly called the EPS box. It also provides access to the main electrical connector panel where all aircraft side wiring is connected. This centrally located electrical connection area will speed up seat installation and removal. The aircraft side wiring will come up through openings in the floorboards. These wires are for PC power ports, IFE MUX, and seat power, and E-path lighting for outboard seats. Now for most seats, the floor opening will align directly below the opening at the bottom of the center console. You may need to remove the EPS box to pull these cables through. The EPS box is easily removed by pulling the nylock pins. One item to note, for the seats on the right-hand side of the cabin, this aircraft wiring will come up through openings that are slightly inboard of the opening at the bottom of the center console. Well, as you have seen, there are several easy access features and quick connecting attributes to make the seat more maintenance-friendly and trouble-free to install. With the modular nature of this new seat, we can shift our philosophy on field repairs as well. It will be simpler and faster to replace the specific item that is causing the problems rather than replacing the entire seat assembly. Now let's take a more detailed look at some of these maintenance items that you may encounter. The component maintenance manual for these seats can be found in the American Airlines ESO 12185. The IPC portion of this ESO can be viewed in the 767 Aircraft IPC Addendum. And this manual contains detailed information on operation, disassembly, cleaning, troubleshooting, repairs, and the all-important illustrated parts list. The EPS box, which we showed earlier, is the brain of the actuation system. This controls all of the motors on both seats, plus it powers the task light in the back of the seat shell. To cut power to the system, pull the circuit breaker at the top of the box. By pulling the circuit breaker and resetting it, the EPS will reboot, much like a hard boot you do with your home computer when it locks up. Mine locks up all the time. The circuit breaker reboot is one step beyond the software reset that we talked about earlier, where the bottom two buttons of the control panel are simultaneously pressed. So if motors stall and the seat seems to appear lost, a logical first step would be to try the software reset on the control panel. If this doesn't clear the problem, proceed to the EPS box. The EPS box is programmed to perform system diagnostics. Note the bytecode window display on top of the EPS. This window displays feedback for every function of the actuation system, but more importantly, it shows fault codes when problems are sensed. There are hundreds of bytecodes describing the system operation. This chart can be found with the seat ESO. A shorter list is attached to the inside of the maintenance access panel that references more common fault codes you may encounter in the field. The fault code will pinpoint the exact problem, from a bad motor to a disconnected cable. There are 5 actuator motors for each seat kinematic. The seat translation actuator, the seat height actuator, the back recline actuator, the leg rest deployment actuator, and the footrest extension actuator. To replace an actuator, the first step is to gain access. As you know, removing the rear maintenance panel gives you generous access to the seat kinematics. Also, using the manual overrides, you can position the seat to suitably clear your work area. Another important access area for the seat kinematics is the seat pan. Now, the seat pan opening is particularly important for accessing the seat back recline motor. Remove the bottom cushion to expose the 7 screws holding the seat pan. Be sure to retain the screws when removing the pan. Use caution when working with the actuators and manual releases. The seat could be inadvertently deployed if a manual release lever is pressed or a motor is unbolted. For the main seat height actuator, the manual release lever is located behind the front of the base frame. It's necessary to remove the actuator to access this attachment. All of the manual release cables are color-coded to identify which cable goes to which actuator. After you have replaced an actuator, the EPS box will identify it during the reboot, and the seat will begin operating as normal. The drop-down armrests are mechanical units that may require adjustments or repair. To open this area, remove the side panel by sliding it down and aft out of the trim flanges. The mechanism includes a spring-loaded lever and cable that pulls a pin out of a slider track. A gas strut lifts the armrest up. The drop-down armrest mechanism is now exposed to allow removal of the entire armrest, the gas strut, or the lever cable. To replace the lever cable, the lever on the front of the arm cap must also be removed. This is done by pushing the pinholes on both sides of the arm cap. The mechanism works just like a watch band attachment. This will expose the cable attachment. Remember, if an armrest mechanism is beyond repair in the field, the affected seat shell unit can be easily replaced rather than replacing an entire seat assembly. The center console tray tables are assembled and installed as a cartridge. This entire cartridge can be removed and replaced by accessing its attachment inside the cocktail tables. Remove the 4 screws and lift the cartridge out of the center console. Fine adjustments for the tray table level are done by turning the 2 set screws. The tray table on the seat back shell is easily removed by sliding the 2 spring pins on each end inward. Now just separate the table from the shell. Attach a new table by reversing this process. This table does not have an individual height or angle adjustment. To adjust the latch tension, push in with a flat screwdriver and turn the ball housing. The headrest is removed by simply pressing the 2 spring levers to allow the headrest to slide up off its tracks. To remove an arm cap, first remove the rear end cap, which is held in place by one screw. Now, slide the armrest back to remove it. All electrical line replaceable units such as PCUs, remote jacks, power port outlets, and the seat control panels have exposed fasteners to allow easy removal and replacement. All of these units have adequate wire service loops to help reach the wire connectors. The E-Path lighting prox lights are replaced by rotating and unsnapping the lens. This exposes the screws to remove the outlet. These prox lights are LEDs, so if one is damaged, the entire outlet must be replaced. It's unlikely that these units will ever burn out during their life cycle. Well, as you have seen, the seat assembly is very maintenance friendly. Parts are easily accessed and replaced, and the entire assembly can be separated into very manageable, modular pieces. Maintaining seats this rich with features and functions requires highly skilled technical experts. At American Airlines, we've got that in you. We look forward to years of reliable operation for these business class seats. Thanks for your attention.